Hello, hello, hello. I'm here with another episode of the Mental Threads podcast. I'm here with a special guest of mine, a really long friend. We go back to like Queens Grant days. One of my friends is like Will Fortney, if you like to say anything.
What's up?
Literally, what's up? And everything. We're here at what is this called? The Eastland Skating Park? Or is it just like DUI skating park?
DIY, yeah, it's an Eastland DIY skate park.
Yeah. East Side or Eastland DIY skating park. Pretty colorful. I never got to see it up close like this. I usually drive past it. It's a skate park on the East Side, Charlotte, near the Cats City Bus. What is that? City Bus?
Cat City Bus station. That's been there forever. That's been here since the mall was up here.
Yeah, man. This is the same area where we used to have Eastland Mall and everything. You know, you hear a whole lot of click-clackins and oh my gods in the background because some people trying to do stunts and whatnot on some Tony Hawk shit. But it's like, I noticed that like there's a little bit of a thriving skate culture going on in Charlotte, but sadly not a whole lot of skate parks. So like this is like one of the main skate parks that I know of. You know, someone that knows nothing about skating and whatnot, but would one day want to invest in it. Considering the culture that befriends it, what's your stance on like the lack of like investment in the skate culture here in Charlotte?
Charlotte has this park, Grayson Skate Park, which is like probably like $5 to go enter. I'm pretty sure right now. It used to be $2. And then they have Renaissance Park, and Renaissance Park is like just like a little tiny area, and it's like just a sliver. So it's about half the size of Eastland. And that's all Charlotte expects for everybody to have after this place is gone. And so a lot of people have been going to city council meetings and stuff and they've seemed to get Charlotte to leave this place alone until they figure out another park where they can actually build a real skate park that's actually sizable for people to skate in.
Yeah, man. It always feels like a lot of things in Charlotte are like discontinuing a lot. It's like I noticed even the epicenter like kind of died down and everything. Oh snap! There you go, sir. Yeah, so like even like the epicenter itself has kind of died down. It's like a ghost town. Like I didn't even notice till like the other day I went over there and everything. It's just like you think that you're starting to notice that a lot of things like there's not a whole lot of things to do in Charlotte. Like it's starting to go down a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's a lot of places just shutting down. Like so many places have closed down around where I live and around this area. It's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's kind of disappointing, you know, because as a kid, I always thought there was so much like stuff to do and everything, you know, like you had Eastland Mall right around where I live, and there was like a little on top of this whole skate park. It used to be a home video, like kind of like Blockbuster, and like there was like a Harris Theater over there, you know.
Hollywood Video. Like I used to go up to the Hollywood Video where this is with my grandparents when I was a kid, because my grandparents lived down on Farm Pond Lane.
Yeah, I used to be renting. I think I used to rent like little Power Rangers movies. So it was like said, them shits were killer as a kid. You know, it's just like there was just a whole lot of stuff to do, and like we're kind of not too far from Noda itself. Yeah, too. Like it's Noda's kind of like up on Central and everything.
Yeah, it's like right down the block from here. Like a lot of shit was popping off. Like just like probably like 10 years ago, all this area was actually like good area. Everything was going off. And they just started shutting stuff down.
I mean, you made a good point earlier before the podcast talking about like the flea market situation where they were selling a gun and then somebody bought a gun there and killed somebody, and then you know they pretty much shut down. Is that something that would happen?
Yeah, some shit happened with the flea market, and that's why they're wanting to shut all this shit down. So it's like I don't know why it relates to this spot, but that's the way the city did it.
I think maybe because it's like, you know, it's the area too, man. You know, Eastland was pretty messed up too. People were getting into fights at Eastland. People were stealing. Somebody got raped at Eastland, you know. It's just...
At the mall?
Yeah, at the mall at Eastland Mall. Like, I was on a...
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man, it was really bad. It was just hard to really invest into an area where so much fucked up shit happened for no reason. And it's just like, you know, it's just... Like, one day, if I even get, like, the money, you know, I went to school for business. So it's just like, you know, I pretty much have, like, insight on, like, the flow of, like, money and trying to build good investment and marketing and everything. If we could, like, build a campaign to, like, reinvest in this area again, like, give, but it's just hard to do that because there's so much messed up things that happen.
That's essentially what's happening with where the reason why they're tearing all this down is because they're building up a soccer stadium here. They're gonna build like apartment complexes and like restaurants and like shops and stuff like that, which is sweet because it's great for this area. Like the area needs it. They tore all this shit down and then did nothing with the area. But that's at the same time, that's the reason why the people that built this park chose this spot, because they knew the city wasn't going to do anything with this spot. So they were like, whenever like we get all this built up in their minds, they were like, nobody's going to tear it down. And for a while, everybody thought that, because it is just a perfect spot. Like, I don't see the reason why they wouldn't want to leave it. To be honest, it's a tourist attraction. Like, there's like Red Bulls came down here a good bit, and that should bring in people to the area. And when Red Bull flies in, that's people flying in and staying in a hotel, so that's bringing money to the city. So I don't see why the city wouldn't want to keep a place like this.
I mean, yeah, it looks kind of nice. Like, it looks kind of like a trademark for the East Side in a sense, you know. You know what would really kind of save? Like, if maybe it was like a dope artist, maybe like a rapper or something, or maybe some famous, maybe like Rob Dyrdek or somebody, celebrity that just kind of came, like maybe took pictures here, did something, did a signing here. They don't like make people want to preserve. Like, you know what y'all should do? Y'all should consider maybe doing a petition, maybe getting people to do signatures and everything that preserve it.
We had a petition, and it's almost reached like 10,000 people, I'm pretty sure, last time, somewhere around that area.
Oh, okay.
And like that it was like in the news and everything. Like, the news came down here. There was a whole big thing. Like, there's a ton of artwork. Some of it's covered up with like graffiti, but like if you look over there, that's somebody drew like a piece of art there.
Yeah, with the whole Hornets thing. Yeah, I fuck with that.
Yeah, like a lot of people put in work to make this spot look nice. I mean, there's a lot of graffiti that happens, so, but some of it's good, some of it's bad, like anywhere you go, you know. I feel like it'd just be nice to keep the spot.
Yeah, it's like a good, like, you know, the graffiti and like just all the colors and everything kind of just brings a whole lot of things together. Like, I know they got a movement school and a Forest Hill Church. I don't know what the hell that is or what that's supposed to represent or whatever, but I feel like there's more significance in this skate park than even that. Yeah. Because at least, like, you know, it gives people like an area to kind of just connect and whatnot. Even like with finding you, like, you'll be here all the time and everything. Yeah, I never even had a chance to even come up here and just meet you up here until now and everything. And it's just like, you know, you're just right around my house and everything of that nature. You know,
a little bit, if you don't mind.
I really don't care, dude. I just had somebody on last. I got you smoking the whole time. It don't matter.
This spot, like, I try to come up here, like, I want to be up here at least once a week, but that doesn't really happen because I don't really get as much time to skate as I would like to.
Because you'd be working?
Yeah, and so, like, I feel like my progression has all happened here, though. Like, I started skating, like, again, because I used to as a kid, but I was never really that good. So I wanted to actually learn it and actually get good. So about like a couple of years ago, I started skating here. And like, I have memories of landing like so many tricks that I had learned here. And so it's like when this place is gone, there's like a lot of memories and people that I've met down here that, you know, it's all gone.
Yeah, man. No, I could feel that for sure, man. You don't want anything to just kind of take away from you. Yeah. I know there was a lot of memories I had at Shamrock Park where they had like this old skate park at, although it had nothing to do with the skate park. But it's like, you know, just kind of like when people, like, because I'm African, so a lot of them will like go play soccer with a lot of the Mexican folk and everything. You know, it's just like just stuff like that, like things like just playing games together, skateboarding. It just brings all types of people just together and things like that. And it's just like, as a kid, I used to like, you kind of like take things like that for granted, but it's like we kind of need that more than ever now. Yeah, especially like with the whole COVID situation, social distancing. Yeah, like
this spot's a huge community. Like, there's tons of people that feel just the way I feel about it. Like, they just don't want it gone. It's really just a nice spot, like, where people can meet. Like, there's like kids around here a lot. Like, people can bring their kids around the area, and like, it's just all around, like, just like a safe haven kind of place, you know. Like, a lot of people just want to be here, and it's like, to me, this is the nicest skate park in Charlotte. They got Renaissance Park, and they've got Grayson Skate Park, which you have to pay and wear like full pads at Grayson, and then Renaissance is tiny. This is like the best skate park that we have in the whole city.
Just based on like just investment, or do you just mean like just in terms of personality, just love the colors? It's the culture
of the size, the style of the park is meant for like anybody. Like there's a lot of flat land, so if you're not good on the ramps, you can learn on flat ground and stuff like that.
Yeah, it gives people more time to kind of maneuver.
Yeah, and if you don't like ramps and you just want to skate through ledges, there's the ledges. There's a little manual pad. There's a lot of stuff here to offer. I'm gonna hop off of this because I think he's gonna...
You gonna do what?
I'm gonna hop off of this because I think he's gonna skate.
Oh, okay, hold up.
Okay. Yeah, I see this guy up here a lot. He skates that ledge that we were on.
Those are your Sour Patch Kids right there?
Nah, I have no idea who those are.
Well, I'm gonna say, give me some. No, I'm just playing. No, sorry. I don't think anybody's Sour Patch Kids. But it's like, yeah, I feel like you touched on a whole lot in regards to what this skate park means to you and everything. But if like you could like kind of sum it up in a little bit, like more like what it really, really means to you, like what else would you say?
I don't know, man. Like, it's like it's just the people, the park. It's probably the best spot. It's just the best spot around. I hope they keep it. Like, I don't know, like, it's there's no other spot like it, to me, at least, like, because this is where I started skating in, so it's like,
so it's very sentimental for you.
Very sentimental spot. I really like this spot.
Now, would you say like skating's like a passion, or would you say like it's like a way to escape from like all your day-to-day troubles and stuff of that nature?
I'd say it could be a little, like, you could see it as a little bit of both. It's like something I really like. I've always liked skating since I was a kid. It's always been something that I've loved to do, and since I started actually learning stuff, it's become even more fun to me.
Oh yeah, I feel that. But I always was kind of intrigued by skating growing up, like, because they had the old Tony Hawk video games on PlayStation and everything. My cousins had it. I'm like, oh, wow, this is kind of cool. I think my brother used to play skate when it was on Xbox 360 and everything.
The first time that I, like, wanted to, like, get into skating, it was, like, my older brother, Cameron. He used to skate, and he would play, like, we had owned all the Tony Hawk games and stuff, and that really, like, made me want to get into it. So it was like, it's always been like a big culture thing, skateboarding.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Last night, I know on HBO Max they put on the whole Tony Hawk documentary and stuff. I was just checking that out, but I fell asleep because we actually were going to watch the Batman. I was actually like, they put the Batman on, the one with like the Twilight vampire nigga, like on HBO Max. The new Batman movie?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, yeah.
I'm waiting for that movie with Robert Pattinson, Batman. But yeah,
yeah, it's on HBO Max now. You can watch it.
Oh, word. I need to get home and watch that whenever I get back. But
HBO Max?
Yeah. I gotta finish. I started Till the Wheels Fall Off with my girlfriend. And she didn't really like it because it's a documentary. So I turned it off about halfway through because I was like, I'm tired of her complaining. I'm going to watch it whenever she's not complaining.
Is that the same Tony Hawk documentary I was talking about? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's Till the Wheels Fall Off.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I might want to check that tonight then.
Yeah, Tony Hawk, that man is crazy. He's like in his 50s and he's still just skating, killing it. And like to do what that man does is insane. Just insane. Like, I hope, like, the next documentary they do is a Rodney Mullen film. They do a documentary on the man who invented, like, the kickflip and all all sorts of tricks.
I saw a YouTube documentary about Rob Dyrdek and, like, how all his business, like, adventures and everything of that nature.
Rob Dyrdek, he's cool.
But he's more of a businessman, yeah. But hey, it still brings a light to it, like, that you can be a skater and live, like, a good, powerful life.
He was a good skater. Like, I gotta say that. Like, you can't say he wasn't. A lot of people are like, oh, well, Rob Dyrdek's corporate. So a lot of, like, the skate community, I feel like, doesn't
they
really
kind of look at him as, like, too much in the mainstream or whatever.
Yeah, I feel that.
I mean, the wonderful thing about
though, but that's the wonderful thing about it. Like,
I like him as a personality.
Yeah,
and everything.
He's a great person.
Plus, he makes hella money. If MTV like pays him all that money to like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like anybody it would be in his position. Anybody would be like, well, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go with MTV.
But hey, Jackass with MTV and everything, like
exactly.
with Bam Margera and everything. So it's
Exactly.
like, you know, what do you think about Bam Margera as a skater?
Bam Margera, he's actually like, I feel like he's gonna be getting back into it soon. Like, I see him on Instagram and shit. Like, I hope Bam Margera gets back into skating. Like, he wasn't in the latest Jackass movie.
Yeah, which was sad and everything. I think because after when Ryan Dunn passed away, was Ryan Dunn a skater too, or was it just?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I think he might have been.
Yeah, when Ryan Dunn passed away, it kind of messed with him a little bit. I know I saw him.
It messed with all the guys on Jackass. Those guys, there was like a whole thing about like when Ryan Dunn passed away. Like they were all like really like fucked up from that.
Yeah, because it kind of happened out of nowhere and everything. So it's just like, you know. So it's just, it is what it is, you know. It's still pretty sad, you know. Rest in peace, Ryan Dunn,
Right.
And whatnot. I just wish that, you know, Bam Margera can get his life together, you know.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looks like his dad now. He's like, I saw him on Instagram working out with Brandon Novak. So it looks like he's trying to like get in shape so he can skate again.
Yeah, you know, it's all like a work. It's all a work in progress and everything, you know, trying to get over someone that passed away, like mourning and stuff of that nature, you know. It could play a lot. I think you want to turn to alcohol a whole lot, so it's just like,
yeah,
you know, which further proves that alcohol ain't shit and that we should just legalize weed,
right.
You know. But it's just, it is what it is. But on the next subject matter, like when it comes to cannabis and everything, like, you know, like, do you really, what's the deal with cannabis still being like illegal, like nowadays? It's just like, what's the deal with that? Like, sometimes I can't even tell if it's not like a bad thing, but then you realize we live in North Carolina, so it's like it's illegal here, but then in other states it's legal, and then other states it's like whatever. That's one of the main reasons why I want to move to DC, because it's literally like legal over there.
Like
and that's where the president lives, so it's like, what's the problem?
I feel like it should be legal just about everywhere, but you know, like the government, they're gonna try to keep it illegal as long as they can
to make money off of it.
Yeah, because it's gonna, like, when weed's fully legal, it's gonna drive down sales of alcohol, and like honestly, it'll stop a lot of drug use, which like the government says they don't want to stop, but they really don't give a shit who's doing drugs, because they're like, we want people to be on drugs so we can arrest them and make more money from the prison systems. Like, every arrest makes them money, my bad. Like, you know, the government knows it's a way for them to make money. As long as weed's illegal, they can arrest people for it, you know? So, it's a real touchy subject when you talk about the legalization of weed. Like, because it's a great thing. And it's like, everybody hopes for it, but
and it's not just for smoking too. You can use the oil for like, you know, trying to what's that word, to try to, I don't want to say heal, but like in a sense to kind of heal aches and pains and stuff of that
honestly,
nature.
Like, it helps
there's a lot of medical
like,
benefits for it to just be like
medical purposes for weed, dude. Like there's so much. It helps cancer patients be able to eat when they're on chemo and shit like that. Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of fucking good things for it. Like,
yeah, we still demonize and like use like, oh no, weed, and ain't no weed here,
right?
And it's like, it's just day to day. Like, even soccer moms smoke weed,
yeah,
so it's like, why is it such a problem?
Like,
it's not like heroin or anything or crack or.
And on the subject of it, like helping people who are on chemo. Like, when you're on chemo, it makes it hard to eat, and a lot of people who have cancer die of starvation because they can't eat. So it's literally saving people's lives. Yeah. So it's like, I think like it's crazy that the government's like, no, this is a demon drug. Like,
yeah, or it's like some drug that's gonna lead into other drugs, and I'm like, trauma leads into other drugs. Like, if kids are like sexually assaulted as like a kid and everything, and that fucks with you all the way into your adulthood, you're gonna turn to drugs to take your mind off of it.
To me, for sure, it is a gateway drug, if you want to look at it that way. But that's because it's illegal. If it was legal, it wouldn't be a gateway drug. The reason why it's a gateway drug is because a lot of people who sell drugs also sell weed. So people end up buying their weed from somebody who's selling a lot of drugs. And that person's like, nah, dude, drugs are just as good as weed. They're not going to fuck you up at all. So it's like, it's totally conceived as, I can see it as a gateway, but it's not on purpose. And it's strictly that way because it's illegal.
That makes sense. I actually never heard of it like that before, but that kind of makes a lot more sense. Because it's not like someone just going to smoke weed and just be like, oh, let me find like the hardest drug I'm going to find.
Be like, oh, I smoked weed, so now I'm going to go find crack.
Like, no. And it's just like, it's the gateway of who you hang out with. And like, since it's illegal, it's kind of put in that same circle as like, you know, cocaine and stuff of that nature.
So it just depends on who you put yourself around when you smoke it. Yeah. Like, it depends on who you want to hang out with, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it all depends on people.
And then it's just like, it would actually be safer if it was legalized, because then it's like people can actually monitor what's in it, because some people be smoking weed. There was a situation in Greensboro where people like put like rat poison in the weed, and that kind of spooked me for a bit to not smoke weed for a while, because then you really don't know where it's coming from or whatever.
That's like I said, it's the people who, you know, who you're fucking with. Like, because there's always going to be some piece of shit who's lacing weed. So it just depends on if you know the person in California or wherever it's coming from that's growing it, or if you know the guy who knows the guy who, you know, who knows who's growing it. You know, if you know that person and you're close with somebody, you know, like it all depends on how close you are with people. Like, it's all like as long as it's illegal, there's gonna be that worry. It's like, am I hanging out with the right dudes who's giving me the right people, who's selling me the right shit?
And it's easier to monitor how much THC's in it and everything for the edibles and stuff, you know, because maybe people want to start off light and maybe they don't want to get high. Maybe they just want to just take a little bit.
Edibles can be easily, like, faked. Mm-hmm. People, like, give, like, sell fake edibles all the time. Yeah. Whether, like, some CBD or some shit like that. Because CBD is legal.
Yeah, CBD is legal, but THC isn't. It's just like, that's just dumb as fuck. Like, dude, just legalize the whole thing. Like, stop taking baby steps with the thing.
I think it's fucked that cigarettes are legal, but weed's illegal.
I mean, it's like, freaking, like, they can legalize fucking Pepsi, but not, like, Coca-Cola. Like, it's like, just come on, give people the option, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we all know a lot of these presidents smoke weed, too. Like, come on. We all know Thomas Jefferson and George were all growing weed in the back of their damn
We all know
backyard.
George Bush was fucking George Bush and Obama, and then they smoked weed when they were in college and shit.
Exactly.
Those are two presidents that I know for sure actually did smoke weed in college, like Bush did, like coke. Like, they've made fun of it on so many so many levels. Like Saturday Night Live, I'm pretty sure made fun of it. Like a lot of shows on Comedy Central and shit like that, they've made fun of Bush and shit all left and right. Yeah. They made a show about him called Little Bush.
I remember that show.
Little Bush, but Little Bush was the shit. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I fuck with that show. That was actually bad.
Make a little Trump.
No, they kind of did make the cartoon president. Remember they put on like HBO or Stars or whatever?
Yeah, they made Trump on. They put Trump on South Park. I like how they made him Garrison. They made Garrison just turn into Trump like Darth Vader.
And like the cartoon, like I was fucking with. It's crazy how that whole Trump era just kind of passed. Like it was such a shock at first, and now it's like now he's like a past president.
It's past,
but he could possibly come back.
Yeah, there's always the like, oh shit, what if he comes back?
I mean, that wouldn't really be much of a problem anymore.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
dude, I even spoke about this at the last episode. Dude was like the first person to go speak to Kim Jong-un in North Carolina. North Korea.
North Korea.
It got mixed up with North Carolina. I mean, it's not much of a difference. No, let me stop.
Honestly, though, like, the president's just a figurehead. They don't have much power.
They really don't. It's really that, because, like, this whole society is ran by corporations.
Yeah, like, you know for sure. It's like the government's got them. Like, the government's controlling the president. Like, there's a higher up than the president. There's got to be somebody higher up than the president, because there's been a lot of crazy presidents that were like, how the hell is this motherfucker running the country?
Yeah.
It's like there's a team of people that run the country.
Literally, like a whole corporation of people.
A whole like army of people that, like run the country.
I just want to know like how the world is going to be like once like how the world's going to be like once the weed is actually legalized and stuff of that nature, you know, like
I feel like a lot of shit will be just better off in general. Just like a general like way of putting it, it'll just be better off.
But I feel like there'll be cons too. Like I feel like the way how they grow the weed, like you know, everything that's done by the government, they're always gonna put some kind of chemicals. Like they got GMO and everything, you know.
That's the thing. There's the people that are growing it are their own independent growers. It's like farming.
Yeah,
it's another way of farming. So the government has no control over it. So that's why it's still illegal, because it's something that people can farm independently, make their own money off of, sell it however they want.
Just like tomatoes and everything.
Yeah, and it's hard to tax. It's hard to make sure people are taxing on it. So, and it's like, I think when like weed first got legal, it was like in like California, you had to pay like some huge sum of money, like a couple $100,000 to get a growing license. So it was like hundreds of thousands of dollars just to be able to grow and sell it, that you had to pay the government.
Damn.
So it's like, you know, you pay $50 for your normal license. It's just be like, oh, I gotta get a growing license. You'd think it'd be around the same amount of money for a fucking card, but it's like $100-something thousand. And you gotta go through all these hoops just to get it. Yeah. So like they make people jump through hoops to get anywhere in growing weed. So it's like a real bitch of a way. Like they make it a real bitch to get into the business.
And that sucks. Because I really do want to invest in cannabis for sure. Like, you know, like I'm from Liberia, and I feel like that'd be one of the things that could probably help my people out too, and everything. We probably like grew weed and everything, and like to actually use it for its medical business, like medical, like for arthritis and stuff, high blood pressure, stuff of that nature.
Yeah,
you know?
There's a lot of shit that you can use it for.
Like imagine it actually growing off African soil, knowing how rich African soil is. Honestly, and everything.
That would be something like, I'm surprised Africa doesn't have legal weed. That would be something that would be great to grow in there. Like their climate is perfect for it, I bet. Like it's always nice, hot and sunny up there.
Yeah, it could be like a little rainy in some places too, but it's just like it's always like, everything's just kind of just right soil wise.
Yeah, if you think about it, like before like modern times, like I guarantee they grew weed all around the world. Like it was probably like a real hot commodity everywhere.
Yeah, man, and it's just like, you know, I'm still trying to do research on what it was in like ancient Egypt for sure. Cause like,
oh, dude, they were probably growing it. Like they grew up a lot of shit. Like there's like weed's always been around. Man.
Of course, the planet. It wasn't created in a lab. Like COVID.
Like somebody was telling me, like one of my like super Christian friends was like, Jesus smoked weed. And it was like talking about how it was in the Bible. I don't know how exactly, but he was like, Jesus fucking Christ smoked weed, dude.
How would Jesus not smoke weed?
Yeah,
Jesus is like the little founding father of all hippies.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like everybody who smokes wants to look like Jesus. Literally. Like if you look at it, so many people dress and look like Jesus.
Yeah, it's just like Jesus' whole camp was like a bunch of like hippies. So it's like, you know, like why wouldn't he indulge in that? I mean, it's from the earth, so it's not like, you know, just like everything else in the earth, you can just indulge in it. Like, what's the big deal? As long as it doesn't kill you or everything, or it doesn't fuck you up.
I picture like all the religions as kind of right in some way, because all of them seem to have some sort of Jesus. All of them have some sort of Jesus, some sort of God. They're all the same way, and they're all just split up.
Yeah, just to kind of separate the human race or whatever. That's called being an omnius, I think. You know, like I just feel like in omniism, it's just like I feel like there's truth in all religions, and there's just parts that, you know, there's some parts that are just kind of flawed. You know, like, you know, like you feel like God would really, like, if he had the chance to like destroy the world and everything, would like do it instead of like come down and actually teach us like how to live and then just buzz off and everything. If we already got kicked out of the Garden of Eden to like pretty much fend for ourselves and everything, why would you be so bothered by anything that we do else just to flood the earth? You know what I'm saying? That's why there's too many contradictions. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that shit would happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we'd have some sort of like apocalypse. The only apocalypse is going to be caused by us.
Literally.
Yeah, anything like apocalyptic is going to be our fucking fault.
And we already got the whole COVID situation that came out of nowhere. So say that they ate a bat, and it's just like that's what started COVID. Yeah. Literally. And now it's at the point now where people barely even wear a mask. Like
COVID happened 2 years ago or so, right? 2 years ago, the world, or all the governments in the world came out, told everybody aliens were real. We've been trying to track them, hawk them down and shit in the skies, but they're too fast for us. And then, like, a couple weeks later, they were like, COVID, everybody stay inside.
Damn.
Everybody stay inside.
Just to make it more easy, huh? For the alien. I know I spoke
I feel like it was just like, it's like the government's scared of like telling people, like the world doesn't want to tell people what's going on.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I spoke about on the last episode, like, this undude. That's why you need to really check a lot of my episodes and everything, because we were going to conspiracy theories and everything about, like, how, like, the higher-ups, like, reptilians or, like, aliens and shit like that.
There's so much crazy shit. Like, it's hard to tell what's real. It's so hard to tell what's real and what's, like, bullshit. Like, I don't know. I got my COVID vaccine and shit because I was like, it's technically not really a real vaccine. It's just like putting antibodies into your system. It's just making your immune system stronger.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I ain't...
Like, people who are like, I don't want to get it. I'm like, it's not like a traditional vaccine where they give you the fucking virus. That's why it happens so quick. Their idea was like, we're just going to pump people with natural antibodies. That's like taking like melatonin and shit like that. You already have melatonin, so it won't harm you.
Yeah, man. It
was a harmless way to see if something worked, and then they tested it heavily on people. They tested it like a motherfucker on people.
Yeah, it's just a lack of certainty in regards to what it would do and everything. Not like I'm saying it's just like, oh yeah, sure, it's antibodies and stuff, but I always thought it was kind of like whatever. Not saying it was like whatever or whatever. It's just like, I just wasn't too sure because it's like anything that people try to force into society, I just don't trust it. You know what I'm saying?
That was the thing. They were like, it was like worldwide, like global. That was why I was like, I feel like if it wasn't like trustworthy,
they just make it like, so commercial and
other
everything.
Other countries wouldn't, like Canada and fucking like France and shit like that. You know, like New Zealand. Like New Zealand was the first country to like fully vaccinate the whole country, and they really haven't had many COVID problems since then. So it's like it's not just America. America is just like the only country that people were like, we got a mad problem with taking the vaccine.
Dang.
Like, if you really think about it, like, we're the only country that has these issues, and they're so like stupid to the other countries because they're like, well, those are first world problems. Like, there's a lot of them that are third world countries that are like, well, fuck your problems, we got way bigger problems, you know? Like, you're talking about Africa, they're like, well, fuck it, we're all gonna get that shit because we got all these other diseases we have to worry about that aren't, like, we don't have a way to get, like, fully vaccinate ourselves and shit, you know? Like, there's so much shit that can happen. Like, COVID's just a new thing. You know, I feel like it's going to be like the common cold eventually.
Yeah, no, really, for real. It's just, I guess it's just, a lot of that just comes from lack of trust from the system, man, because it's just like, dude, like, come on, they don't even legalize weed because they want to put people in jail for it and everything. Like, literally, the education system is fucked too. I mean, the segregation, you know, come on. There was once a point where it's like they said people that looked like me was like 2/3 of a person at one point, just for like political reasons. I'm just saying, in a country that's so based on capitalistic views and everything, it always feels like everything that's being pushed is for gain, even if it's not good for us, like from fast food and everything, you know?
I feel like everything has like somebody fucked up in it. Like everybody, everywhere you see that something's making money, there's somebody at the top skimming for themselves. So there's like, I don't know, like, how to put it, you know?
Yeah, no, it's just like, all so complicated and everything because we know that it's not just the president that's at the top. Yeah. It's like so many other, like that 1% is really what runs the world and everything, yeah, like the CIA and shit.
Normal people like you and me who are just like, we're just trying to live, you know?
We gotta live as best a life as we can and everything. It's crazy how we started from like high school and everything. You know, we could talk about like Queens Grand and stuff of that nature. Because you're only there for like what, like 1-2 years? You're there how many years?
I was there for like 2 years probably. I remember I dropped out of high school really young. I was taking care of my grandmother.
So your grandmother was sick and you just chose to like just drop out. You just said like screw it.
Sort of. We had nobody could take care of my grandmother when my grandfather passed away, so she had to move into our house. So it was, my mom couldn't quit her job, so I stayed home to help take care of my grandma when my mom was working and shit like that.
That's very noble of you. Like, most people just drop out because they just say, oh, like, fuck it, school just wasn't for me type shit.
That was part of the reason. That was totally part of the reason. I was like, fuck school. It was a way to get out of going to school. So it was like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of going to school.
Yeah, man, like, I could feel that and everything, because Queens Grad, like, I know, like, because, like, freshman year, it was really just you, me, AJ, that one kid, what's his name, Dylan, and everything. I haven't seen him in, like, forever. And, like,
there's a shit ton of people I haven't seen from up there, like, in a long time, man.
Yeah, man, it was just, like, y'all was, like, the main chill group, like, of people, but then, like, a lot of people left the first year, and then I was stuck at that school, and then it just got, like, hectic. Like, shit was just getting more shittier the longer I stayed there. It's like, man, I wish I would have left or did something, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I feel you, dude.
Like, it was a cool, okay school for, like, the first year, it was great. Like, I fucked with it. But then, like, after, like, sophomore year to, like, senior year, it was just, people were becoming more full of themselves over nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, this is a trailer park ass fucking school. Yeah, like, how much better do you feel like going to a fucking shoebox
and they had
just
that
to learn?
Uniform and shit. You had to wear a uniform. And
dress code.
Like dress code for that trailer park ass school. Like that shit was crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, how did my mom make me go to this damn shit and everything? I'll be like, what was the good idea? It wasn't even like prestigious. It was just like Garinger but short and smaller and like with some more preppy kids that went there.
I feel like it was like white trash preppy ghetto all in one.
No, really, it was just...
It's like all in one, just a mix of everything like that you would not want. It's just like a mix of everything where you're just like, oh fuck, this is a bad area. you're like it looks like freaking Hickville mixed with like fucking like prep mixed with like hood. And it's like a lot of people just like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Like, really, what is this? It made no sense at all.
Like, what is this?
But it made connections with a lot of unlikely friends and everything like that,
yeah,
you know. And
I met a shit ton of people up there that like made the experience better. Like, I remember I can't remember our teacher's name. The Spanish teacher that was a model.
De La Mora?
Yeah, I can't remember her name. But she was like, it might have been her. I can't remember. But she was like nobody took her class seriously.
Dang.
Everybody would always fuck with the teacher. And like she'd be pissed about people eating in her class, so people would like eat on purpose and like stare at her and be like, oh, what up, bitch? I just remember like that school was funny because there were certain classes where it's just like nobody gave a shit.
No one gave a shit. I remember one time in this one class, this dude was failing. He literally got into the teacher's like laptop to change his grades.
Yeah,
and that's how he passed.
I was failing in Spanish because I was never giving a fuck. I was just like, man, this is just like too much. I couldn't pay attention because everybody be fucking with the teacher the whole time. There's like shit, I can't even remember everything that happened in that classroom because it was just every fucking time I was in there, somebody was fucking around.
It was some good times too, man. Like, you know, it's just like there was some of the people because a lot of people just didn't give a fuck too. So it's just like, the only thing is like it was just so small, so it was kind of hard to really get that whole high school experience. And it's like, you know, like literally you're with the same 5 people all the time and everything. It ain't nothing wrong with that, but it was just like, you know, it just sucked because AJ left and then Kareem left and then like all the cool people left and then we're just left with the people who took that school way too serious. And it was just like, bro, just get your degree. I mean, get your diploma and fuck off. Like, literally, just have fun while you're here. And then people would just like literally stare, like just try to focus on people, like what they're wearing, what clothes. Like, oh, I wouldn't want my ass in them shoes. Or I would, like, who cares? Like, why does having shoes validate your existence?
Didn't like Jeter stay?
What, Jeter? Yeah, he stayed. I think for like the 4 years. I haven't spoken to him in a minute though. I think his father passed away and everything. Really? Yeah, his dad passed away.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in forever either, man. Like, I see him on like, I think I follow him on Instagram or something like that, but I haven't really seen him. It's like a lot of people. I'm friends with him on Facebook and shit, but I don't really talk to a lot of people on Facebook. I was like surprised when you hit me up. I was like, oh, word. Oh yeah, T hit me up. Like, I was like, I never talked to anybody from back then. You know, like, it's like crazy to think about that shit, like that time.
Yeah, man, because like you were like one of the main people I was like cool with like consistently. People like kind of flake on you and turn their back.
Yeah, it was like everybody was bipolar.
I could never understand that. I was just pretty much chilling. The only person that could literally have me fucked up was like you. What anybody else would say about you, that doesn't matter. Only you. That can only do it.
You were like one of the only friends that I was like consistently just cool with, like the whole time I was in high school and shit.
Yeah, because that's just how I am. It's just all I wanted to do was just have fun and everything and just enjoy whatever time I had. It was whatever type of school, and I was leaving a pretty shitty situation in middle school, so it was I was just trying to be as positive as I could. But then I had the whole rap thing I was doing. I never sent you my mixtape.
I've heard it. I listened to your mixtape. You posted on Instagram and shit, your story.
Oh yeah, I did.
I'd always listen to it on your story. I go through your whole story listening to it.
Oh, I mean, you can listen to it on Spotify and SoundCloud and everything. You want to get the full thing and everything. You kind of fuck with the vibes, right?
Yeah, dude. I do fuck with that shit. It's really good.
Yeah, that's cool, nice. It's just it's actually almost a year though. That's why I'm kind of pissed at myself because I was hoping to drop more projects in the meantime, but I had no resources. There was always some fucked up shit. They suspended my license, so I can only drive Mondays through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah, shit. That shit's hard to get into though. So it's you gotta drive if you want to get into it. So you can't never disrespect somebody's drive. That's something I always think. I'm never I'm never the person who's oh, you suck at something, so I'm gonna tell you, because that's putting somebody down when they're trying to do something. It's it makes it even harder when somebody's putting you down for it too.
I mean, but it's all just lights a fire, basically. And it makes you more self-aware of your content.
That's true.
So it's just even when people used to hate on me in high school, some people used to say, oh yeah, you could probably do something. Other people were oh no, that's nursery rhyme, whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense because just because I write it down trying to literally try to get better at my vocabulary, that bothers you.
A lot of famous people got famous as shit for writing shit down. There's a lot of people who just get famous as hell. A lot of artists and shit. I think I was watching the Wu-Tang series on Hulu. The one guy, he was writing all this shit down. Yeah. That's how he made it. That's how they started. He was writing the shit down. So I mean, everything's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. I still have a goal of trying to drop 50 songs. I just need to find a job for sure I could be able to make consistent money off of. So it's just, I need to hit up some places after this interview once I get to the crib and everything, and just kind of check in with them and see how I can fuel this stuff up. I'm thinking about doing Bitcoin too, stuff of that nature, try to see if I can make some extra bread. But hey, I mean, it's all in due time and everything like that. I know pretty much spoke about a whole lot of matters and everything in regards to skating, cannabis, and all types of stuff and everything. Are there any final words you like to say to the audience? Guy, I know we got to start closing this stuff in because I know I got to head back to the crib and everything. So it's what's any final words? I'll let people know about some shit.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He doesn't know. That's the last words. All right, thanks. That's my dude, Will Fortney. Or I refer him as just Fortney from time to time and everything. We do go way back. He's one of my coolest friends from high school and everything. And even nowadays, the vibes are still the same. Nothing changed. Just same type of vibes. Same cool people and everything. So it's that's one thing. You got to keep the people close to you that never change, that are always chill and stuff of that nature. And it's in the future, we'll definitely be hanging out a whole lot more often. Even if I go to DC, I'll be sure to probably check in with him a lot more for sure and everything. Maybe there's some skate parks in DC. Maybe you can come visit me.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I used to live in Michigan, so I want to get back down to that area at some point because my girlfriend's got family down there. So I go through DC when I go to Michigan, so that'll be what's up, dude.
Okay, most definitely. All right, that's it for the Mental Threads podcast. Another episode is finished. We are in, sewn in. Now we're sewing out. All right, that's what it is. What up?